Welcome everyone. We got a great song by the mighty Judas Priest, A Victim of Changes, off their Sad Wings of Destiny. Just a killer song. So this song is in standard tuning, and man, it's got more twists and turns than Lombard Street in San Francisco. And I've driven that street. I actually drove it. But yeah, there's a lot to it. So we're going to focus on some of the main licks that you'll hear, the riffs for sure, and the structure of the song. I've written everything out, so my link to my tab is right below the video, so click on that. You can download, you can follow along, or you can have that for yourself. Where appropriate, we'll go over the separation of both guitars, what KK's doing, what Glenn's doing. My intro there was basically Glenn's intro because I find that easier to play personally, and that's just what I enjoyed playing and kind of figured out to open with. So we'll go over KK's. I got that figured out. So all right, let's get into it. Like I said, there's a lot to go over. So this intro on the album kind of starts out fading in. Live versions, they kick right into it. All right. So what I did in the beginning for Glenn's piece, we're hitting the first string 15 to 12 to open. Okay, he'll do that 8 times. So I've highlighted every other one in my tab just so it's easier to recognize. Once you get to 8, then we're going to switch to the 17th fret and the 14th fret and then open. Okay, that'll go 8 times. Then we come back to 15, 12. Another 8 times. All right. Then he moves down 1 fret to 14, then 11 and open. And he will do that. We'll do that 4 times. Then we move to 12, 10 open. We'll do that once. Then we're going to move to 12, 10 open on the 2nd string once. 10, 8 open once, and then 8, 7 open once. Then he goes to 9 and 7 on the 3rd string to open, but it's palm muted. All right, for about the first 3 times, and then he starts opening it up, and he'll go a total of 6 times. And then he does this lick. Both guitars will do this lick. I'll just stop there because we changed positions. So we're going to go on the 3rd string, 9, 7, 4th string, 9, 8, 7. Then when we come to the 5th string, it'll be 10, 9, 7. Now we switch positions and we're going to actually hit 7 again. So you want to move to the 5th position and again hit 7 on the 5th string to 6, 5. And then you'll come to the 6th string, 7, 6, 5. To the 3rd fret and then slide off. Actually the 5th fret slides to 3 and then holds it. And the hold again is very short because they go right into the rhythm. It's a very quick opening. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot to get to. So that's Glenn's part. What KK does is quite a bit different. He's going to start out 19 on the 1st string to 15 to open 8 times. All right, then he goes up. He will hit 17, 20, and then open. He'll do that 8 times, and then he moves back to 19, 15 open 8 times. Then he comes comes to 17-14 to open, that'll be only 4 times. Then he'll move that to the second string from 17-15 to open. Then to the third string, 16-14 open. Alright, and then 14-12 open. And then he's going to hit 12-11 open, palm muted. And then he opens it up just like Glenn does, and then they both come in. Then we start the rhythm. So that is what the two guitarists are doing in unison in the intro. So the main riff is based in E. What we're going to do is hammer into our E chord string. And then we hit the E string, 6th string twice. Third time, slide down to the D. Then we do this lick. So we go 7, 6, 5, slid to 3, and then do it all over again. Okay, they'll do that a total of 4 times before they change and go into this. What we're doing there is A, power chord, and then hitting the A note twice before we hammer into the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Then we move to a D, hit that twice, the 3rd time sliding up to, C, then sliding up to D. So we have this for the first half. Repeat that, but we're not going to slide up. We're just going to hit the C, hold it. Then we'll hit it again before hitting an A note and then a G power chord. Alright, so that whole thing slowly, and that A is essential between the C and the G. It's just one of those little things that make this timing just right. So, together, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're back into the lick. We'll do that twice more. Now they go into that lick that we did earlier. The only difference is when we slide from 5 to 3, we're going to also slide to 2 and then hit an E power chord that starts us into the vocal. Alright, so let's do the last 2 and the lick and then into the E 6th power chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that E is where the vocals start. We just sit on that E for an 8 count. Then we go into the lick that we know, the E lick. Then we slide to 2 and then to E again for the vocals to continue. Alright, at that point, now we come into our lick again. This time we're going to do it a total of 2 times, and then our A lick. So we'll have this. Alright, then we're back into the lick again. Another set, another A, another lick, after this next lick, then we change. We don't come to the A lick. We're going to go into something a little different. So let me play it for you, and we'll go over that. So what we're doing there is coming to a B power chord, and then we'll hit the B note on the 5th string twice. So we're going to do that a total of 5 times, hit on the B, 6 times on the 2s, and then we hit B twice, C once, back to B. Back into the lick. The difference here, after this B, this lick, we just stop on that D and hold it, and then you'll hear the start of the interlude. Now the start of the interlude kicks off with a lick, which I believe is KK. So the lick that I think KK is doing is, we're going to be right here, 12th position. We'll move a little bit, but what we're going to do is start out on the 3rd string with 14th fret bent release, pulled off to 12, hammered on to 14, pulled back off to 12, landing on 14. Then we come to 12 on that 3rd string with a slow bend. Then we go 14, 12, and then a 14, 12 pull off, landing on 14 on the 5th. Back to 12 on the 4th. Then we're going to do a pull off, 14, 12, and then 13, 12, landing on 15 on the 6th string. Then we go 14 to 12 hammered on, landing on, that's on the 5th string, landing on 12 on the 14th. Hitting an open E. So that, it's a real quick lick. Once you get it under your fingers, it all falls in place. It's not real difficult. Now this first set of chords happens underneath that lick. So what you hear Glenn doing is basically E, A, and then D, and then A to B. And then we go into what's real memorable, because both guitars do it together. So this next lick you'll hear one guitar do it twice, and then both guitars will do it the 3rd time. And then it repeats. So what we're doing, 7-5 on the 6th string to open twice. Move that down to 5-3, then open twice. 3-2, then open twice. Then we go 3-2 to open. Start over, but we're going to hit 7-5 to open twice. Then 5-3 open twice. And then we go 3-2 open 2. And like I said, that whole thing repeats again, and then one more measure both guitars do together. Great little lick. All right, when they come out of that, it's right to an E power chord, verse 2. Alright, and then, like I said, we go into our lick, we go into E again, we're going to do our lick, and then our A lick. Alright, again. Now our A lick again, 2G, Another set with the E lick, then our B, then we have another lick. All right, again, I think it's KK. I'm just going to go through this slowly. I haven't practiced this. Alright, so it's kind of blues based, all in A. We're going to take 8, bend that up, hit 5 on the first string, 8 is on the second. Come back to 8 and then hit 7 pulled off to 5 on the second string. Landing on 7 on the third, back to 5 on the second. Then we come 8 pulled off to 7 and 5 on the third, landing on 7 on the fourth, back to 7 on the third, back to 7 on the fourth. Then we hit 5, hammered into 6. 7 on the fourth string, pulled off to 5, and then hit 5 again. Then we're going to hit 5, hammered onto 7, and pull back off to 5. Landing on the fifth string, 7, back to fourth string, 5. And then walk down to the third. Alright, so that's the little lick, and then we're into what I'm calling bridge 1. So bridge 1 has 2 parts that repeat. I'll play them and then we'll go over it. So what we're doing is an A power chord, and then we're going to hit on the 4th string the 5th fret twice, then the 4th fret twice, then back to 5 once before hitting a C power chord. So that'll repeat, and then we move, we'll do an E. I guess you could do this E. And then we're moving up to the 5th string, so we'll do 5, 4, and then 5, and then G power chord. I like this E power chord. Alright, so that takes us into solo 1. And solo 1's rhythm is not real difficult. It will repeat 10 times. Alright, so what we're doing is hammering on from 5 to 7 on the 5th string with 3 more hits, so it's a total of 4. Then we go 4 hammered into 5 with 3 more hits. Then 2 to 4 hammered in with 3 more hits. Then we go 2nd fret B note to a G note, and then hit G twice more. And then again, that will repeat 9 more times. All right. Then we're into interlude 2. So interlude 2 has 2 measures of this lick. Okay, I'll just stop there because it repeats again for another measure. So we're starting out 5 hammered into 7 on the 5th string, and then 2 quick hits on the E string, 6th string. Then we come 4th string 5, 7th fret of the 5th fret 4th string, 7th fret 5th string. 2 more hits on E. So we have this so far. 1 more 5, 7, and 2 E's. Then we go 5, 7, from the 4th string to the 5th string, and then another 5/7 hammer on. Then we start again. And that's a half measure. So it goes again, and then, like I said, a whole nother measure. So there's a whole 2 measures of this. Let's go through 1 measure so you can get a feel of how this fits together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next part of this interlude 2 will sound like this. Alright, so a little bit different chording here. What we're going to do is on the 5th string, hit the 5th fret to the 2nd fret and then come to the 6th string at 3 to an A power chord. And then I'll walk down 3, 2 on the 6th string. Then we're going to hit a power chord F sharp here on the 2nd and 4th fret on the 6th and 5th string. Then we move on up to G and back to be G flat then. Alright, and then we hit C twice. Then we move our 3rd fret on the 5th string down to 2. So we have C twice, and then we move it down to the 2nd fret while still hitting the 5th fret of the 4th string. Then to an A power chord. Then we come up to, basically we're taking this G down a step, so we'll be on the 5th string, 5th fret, 2nd fret of the 6th string, and then lay right down to a B. Okay, and then you'll hear another lick, and then we go into bridge 2. So the lick that ends interlude 2 is a triplet lick. We're going to start on the 7th position, 5th string. Alright, so 7, 9, 10. Then back to 9, 10, and then 7 on the 4th string. Back to 10 on the 5th string, and then 7, 9 on the 4th string. And back to 7, 9, 10. And then we're going to go 9, 10, 12. Then we catch right below it 9, 11, 12. And then just 12 on the 2nd to 12 on the 1st, slid off. Alright, so slowly 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now we're into bridge 2. We start out a bit cleaner, things kind of get a little mellower. Like I said, this bridge will actually last for quite a while. We'll get some vocals in there. They're going to add some wah-wah. It'll get louder with some distortion towards the end. So let's go over the first measure, which, like I said, it'll carry on where we got there 2, 4. There's 2 measures where we start with a cleaner guitar, then a couple measures where the vocal enter, then a couple measures with the wah, and then they change it a little bit before really adding distortion, more of chording. At one time, a measure will consist of twice through this, but do the same thing. So it'll sound like this. And I cleaned up a little bit. So I started going into the 2nd, but you get it. So what we're doing is a 5 slid up. It's basically a D chord, 5th fret, 7th fret on the 5th and 4th string, slid up to the 7th fret. Let that ring for a bit, then we're going to slide back to D, and then D to E again. Then we're going going to slide all the way up to G, and then G back to D. Then it starts over. Like I said, the exact same thing. That's one measure. So the chords you'll hear next will start out E minor 7th. So picture an E minor, but leave your pinky off. E minor 7th to D. Move that up to G. Then come right above that to a D. That repeats. All right, it will repeat a total with that one time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. All right. And then we start in, we turn up the distortion. Then we are into solo 2's rhythm, where that rhythm continues, again, 2 full measures. And then we're into, believe it or not, the outro. Wow. Okay, so let's go over the outro next. All right, here's the outro. They're both licks we know. We're going to do 2 full measures of the E lick and then end it. So we'll go like this. All right, so we know the E lick, and then we move into our 7/5 to open twice on the 6th string, 5/3 open twice, 3/2 open twice, and then 3/2 open. We'll repeat the 7/5 twice, 5/3, and 3/2 open 2. End with a G, to a D, to a C, to a B, and an E. Slide off. That is the song. So like I said, solo 1 is by KK. I've written it out. Again, a lot of whammy bar with that, a lot of trilling, really well done. And same with Glenn's second solo. Just some real nice bluesy licks in there. So again, I took the time to write it out. It would take forever to go through it all. So I really hope that helps everybody. Enjoy.